Peace.
Peace.
This is Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD. You're just now entering the cipher called Real2reel360. K-Wise.
Peace, God.
Bring that beat in, kid.
Indeed.
Peace.
Yeah. What's going on, party people? Welcome to the Real2reel360 show. Let's get it in. We do the knowledge of wisdom so you can understand. Real2reel360 shows in full command. We changing the game for how it all was taught. From bondage to freedom to an independent thought. Yo, the show is here to bring about a change for real. To lighten everyone so we all know the deal. 360 degrees is a fact. We created the show to give our love back to our communities so we can know what's going on and give them the support from knowledge to porn. So if you're ready to learn, then it's time to go. Sit back and relax and enjoy your show. Peace.
Peace and blessings to Allah's mighty 5% nation of gods and earths. To all the human families of the planet Earth, I bid you a love, peace, and happiness. I salute. I am DJ K-Wise Allah, a.k.a. Kato, the Black Superhero. Welcome to the Real2reel360, one of the baddest talk show podcast shows in the land. You know why? Because we do it and we keep it real. All right, we got a good show for y'all coming up right now. We got a good gentleman here. We're going to get into it with him. I'm going to bring on my co-host with the most so we can get it in. All right. Y'all know who he is. Needs no introduction. So here we go.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Sure enough.
But who am I?
Joshua Miller Law.
Who am I?
Joshua Miller Law.
I can't hear you.
Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD.
Peace.
Peace, peace, peace. Peace to all our followers, likers, and subscribers. Our sister Ty gonna like that intro right there. All our likers and subscribers, please share this, because this is gonna be an epic episode as always. We only bring you the best of the best right here on Real2reel360. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of our own brothers, Mr. Parooze, coming in, show him some love. Let's get it.
All right.
How you making
What's
it,
up?
my brother?
What's up?
Man, I'm trying to share it everywhere because I want everybody to see this interview right here, brother.
Yeah.
I don't want them to miss not one episode, one word. Ladies and gentlemen, this man right here has been in the business for a while. He's been a manager. He's done dealt with soul music, funk, blues, and now he's right here on Real2reel360. We got brother, Mr. Parooze on the building, straight out of Texas.
Salute.
Salute, brother. How you making it, man?
I'm doing all right, fighting that heat.
I know that's real. Hey, but just give them a little journey about how it's been for you going into the music business. Where did you start at?
I started, if you want to say in the music business, I started in 99. I met this guy, Lucky Peterson, and we kind of hit it off, and I started traveling around with him, handling his business for him, kind of like a traveling lawyer, to for the lack of a better word. So as the relationship and the years went by, I started writing and producing some of his albums, and it just kind of went from there. I started working with a couple of record labels as a producer, and started producing other artists, as well as still working with Peterson and Tamla Tramiel. And it kind of just went from there. Went from there to I worked with Young Bleed for a little minute. Then I traveled around for about 2 years with the GS Boy. all the while I was still producing and working with Lucky, and I worked with Carl Wellersby. I worked with Rico McFarlane, and I ended up in this space. Lucky passed away. I had some more uh, unfortunate tragedies in my family, and it kind of left me like which way to go. So the record label asked me to record my own record instead of somebody else. So I took them up on it. Since I was a producer and not a singer or artist, I kind of had reservations, wondering how was I gonna be accepted as an artist. So I did a couple of Southern Soul songs, knocked that coochie out, and I put that out, and it went over. It went over so good that I just kept going. Uh, I was born into a music family. My father was a writer, so I guess I kind of picked it up from uh, from him.
Okay.
And
Now
here we are.
I want to shout out those who are in the comments. We have Miss Poochie in the comment, Miss Sheila Hollins in the comments. We have Kimberly Isaiah from Connected Dot, Betty Nelson shouting out, Deidre Richardson, and also to Carla Eubanks is in attendance tonight. Thank y'all for sharing and coming in and showing that love. But
Salute to
salute,
everybody.
salute to everybody. So when did you learn how to produce music? What was it about music production that you had a lot of interest in outside of the writing?
When I was small, my mother, she she grew she from marrying my father. My father was writing for Johnny Ace, B.B. King, Lord Folsom, Little Joe Blue, Junior Wells, Little Junior Parker. So my mother told me to pick up and start playing the guitar when I was about 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to play the guitar, not knowing not knowing why. She told me that it was a reason. She told me that, and I didn't want to do it. So I was always beating on stuff. Uh, get phone books and place them around like drums, and beating on the trash cans and making drum sets, tearing up the stereos, trying to get the speakers out of them. So uh, I started I started messing around with the piano.
Mm-hmm.
I went to I graduated from the piano to start buying keyboards when they first started making keyboards with sequencers on them.
Mm-hmm.
The first keyboard I got with a sequencer was a Ensoniq, a ESP, Ensoniq ESP. It had a 16-track sequencer on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I started manipulating that and programming and working with that until I got it down, and it just kind of stuck with me, just never left. So uh, from me in the back room making my own songs and learning the program and how to program the sequencer and add the beats and take the beats out and just study stacking the beats, I kind of liked it, and it just kind of stuck with me. So from there, I started dealing with the live instruments and the drummers, the bass players, the guitar players, and coming from the sequencer and how you layer each instrument, it kind of just started snowballing from there. And I ended up where I am today. It's just something I like to do.
Now, when it came down to producing, you were self-taught mostly.
I went to college for classical piano. Uh, I never I never went to any institutions to learn how to program. I just kind of learned that from dealing with that Ensoniq for 5 or 6 years learning what oscillators is and LFOs and high pass filters and tracks and MIDI channels, and I just kind of learned that on my own. But the technique of the piano, I went to college and took classical piano.
Okay, now what was the first song that you actually produced yourself?
Can't Get You Out of My Mind. As far as just me personally, Can't Get You Out of My Mind. Uh, uh, for someone else,
Mhm.
Darling Forever.
Now, people don't know that you was a manager, a road manager as well. And what was it about managing that you felt was you? Because I know like a lot of times people are in the industry and they find different niches. A lot of them just love being artists. Some love being producers, and others love the business part of it. Was it the business part of music attractive to you more so than anything else?
No, I I do not like the business part of the music. I don't like it. I do it because it's part of the business, but I don't like it. Managing is a headache. Managing takes a toll on managing. Stress can stress you out. I
Mhm.
was I was a traveling manager, and the person that I off and on managed them. At, sometimes I was the road manager, the tour manager. Sometimes I was the manager. But in each case, both positions came along with the other. So, okay, you want me to manage now, but I'm still tour managing. You want me to tour manage now, but I'm still managing. So managing is the part of the business where you are not allowed to make a mistake. You are
Mhm.
not allowed to drop the ball, especially if you have a national touring act that you're managing for. And Lucky Peterson was a national touring act. We was we overseas 3 to 4 months out of the year, and we come back to the States and for 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, and we back overseas. So my role as a manager was I'm always reading contracts, because as a national touring artist, when you go on tour, we doing one nighters. We may have one night off, but it's a traveling night because the next show may be 12 hours away. So it's a travel, but I'm always reading contracts. Every day I am reading contracts, whether it's a performance contract, which is dealing with a national touring artist. A performance contract alone is 7, 8 pages. Uh, uh, a recording contract at the minimum is 21 pages. And each show you go to, there's a camera, a TV camera, or there's a big bus parked out in the back, and it's 128 recording, 128 channel recording studio inside the bus, and they coming to me to want to record the show. So now I gotta go and ask the artist if he want to do that, and if he does, it's depending on what I read in the contract. So as a manager, you keep long hours, you get little sleep, uh, and you have to, like I say, you are reading contracts or agreements every day.
Mm.
So being a manager is very, uh, it's a stressful job, And if you have an artist that if you're working for an artist that's in his quote unquote superstar mode, then you got to deal with the ego, the temperament, as well as not drop the ball, because you reading a recording contract, or you reading a contract where ABC want to record live. They want to do a live DVD as well as a live audio recording, and the particulars got to be right in order for it to be successful for everybody. A tour manager, in my case, I toured with 13 people. So I had the responsibility of transporting 13 people from home to Paris or Germany or Japan or wherever the case may be. My job is to transport 13 people from different U.S. cities. I got to get them from different U.S. cities to where we all connect. And most of the time we land at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. So we all got to land at the same time, because it's a tour bus parked outside that costs $16,000. It's parked outside, and it don't have time for my flight to land at 10 o'clock and somebody else's flight to land at 3 o'clock. I got to coordinate it where we all land in Paris at least at the minimum 30 minutes apart.
Now, with your music that you're producing, that you're coming out with now, is mostly soul, funk, and blues. What is it about the Southern soul that is more attractive to you than the hip hop?
I really wouldn't say I like music, period. So I wouldn't really say one is more attractive to me than the other. Hip hop, shit, I'm too damn old to be doing some damn hip hop as an artist. Shit, I mean, shit. Southern soul, it's more musical for me.
Mhm.
Hip hop is more of a combination of sounds and beats. Southern soul is more musical. I'm able to sit down at the piano and actually write a song and add the elements to the musical portion of it, add the rhythms and the different instruments to complete the song, whereas hip hop is more drums and accompanying sounds. So I get more fulfillment when I can sit down and actually write a song, put some lyrics with it that for me have meaning to me, and introduce it to whoever listen to it, versus the hip hop. I get enjoyment out of the hip hop, but I can't really just sit down and write a song when it comes to hip hop. Not nowadays. It's just beats and tangible sounds in hip hop.
Now, do you write and produce all your songs?
Yes, sir.
So you do the musical conceptions and the lyrics and everything.
Mix, master, the whole 9 yards.
Wow. So
Now I got one that I didn't do the music to. Beat Flipper. Beat Flipper did Wiggle. Beat Flipper did the music to Wiggle. And he called me over. I wrote the lyrics. Beat Flipper mixed and mastered Wiggle, and we put it out.
Well, thanks.
Slack did the music to Trick Daddy. I wrote the lyrics. I mixed it and mastered it. Those two are the only two so far that somebody else did the music to.
Right.
Trick Daddy and Wiggle.
Okay, right now my brother has 2 of your songs queued up. Okay, which song did you go about to play now?
Is it Do It Better Than Me?
Do It Better Than Me.
Here we go. That song is about Jody. That's a flip of Jody. I flipped Jody. Jody come through the back door. I flipped Jody. Jody don't come through the back door no more. He got a key.
All right, let's get it in.
Let's get it in.
I'm talking about you. Talking about you. Yeah. Now listen. I work hard all week to put food on the table and shoes on the kids' feet. I don't complain much about nothing, cause the life we're living is a blessing to me. But oh, something in this house has certainly changed. For some odd reason, been acting kind of strange. Tossing and turning in your sleep lately, talking out your head. And these are the words you're saying, telling me Jody don't come through the back door no more. He's got a key. And whatever he's doing to my woman, show up he's doing it better than me. Lord have mercy. It was a hard pill for me to swallow. And it's driving me out of my mind. 5 long years I've been with this woman. I never thought she'd be my demise. Baby, please, I'm gonna do a little better. As the tears flowed down my face, she just stood there with her hands on her hips. And these are the words that poured out from her lips. She's telling me, Jody, don't come through the back door no more. He's got a key. Now mercy, y'all. And whatever he's doing to my woman, show up he's doing it better than me. No, baby. Jody don't come through the back door no more. Now he's got a key. Y'all don't hear me now. And whatever he's doing to my woman, sure enough he's doing it better than me. Yeah. Jody, he got a key. Lord have mercy, baby. And whatever he's doing to my woman, sure enough he's doing it better than me.
Man,
Jody don't come through the back door no more.
Come through the back door no more. He got a key. Damn.
Well, my thing is that he got a key, he got them bills. He can have them bills if he got the key. Man, that's right there. You definitely flipped that Jody. Shoot. If he got a key to the front door, he can have them bills that's sitting on that kitchen table.
Jody must be signing his name on the lease.
He's doing it better than me.
Now, what was the process of making that record, doing it better than me?
I wanted to do something different with Jody other than Jody coming through the back door. So I generally will make my music before my lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do something different with Jody, and there's really not too many things that Jody haven't done throughout Jody's lifespan, other than getting a fucking key. So I said the only thing Jody can do different now is come through the front door. He got a key now. So that's how Jody doing it better than me came about.
Man, I tell you, that song right there, you definitely flipped it. And anybody who knows anything about Jody knows that Jody ain't never get a key until 2023.
Joe did. Jody always came through the back door.
Came through the back door. Now he coming through the front.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna have to blame them women on that. They ain't even waiting till the man leave.
Jody got a key. He come in when he get ready.
When he get ready, man, watching football on Sunday, Jody just walk in the man house.
You heard what I told baby, please, I'm gonna do it much better. As the tears rolled down my face. She don't care. She just stood there with her hands on her hips. And these are the words that poured out from her lips.
Man, yeah, Jody's a bad man, I tell you.
Yeah.
What's been your reaction to that song? How's the people been grooving with it?
I'm sitting at I want to say give or take a little 250,000 on YouTube. But you know, Jody, that doing it better than me, been out now maybe 2 years. If it's not 2, it's close to 2. It's not new. But it got a good response. People like it. When I perform it, they like it.
You know, a lot of times it takes a minute before a lot of records catch on.
Yeah.
Everything is not an overnight thing. Everything is a process. You know, a lot of times it's where you at and the region and everything else. So sometimes it takes it a little longer, but once it catch on, they catch on like a wildfire. And as we all know, like look at King George, song been out 5 years now. It's a hit all over the world. So being that all the process that you've been going through, making music, what is it about soul and funk and blues that speaks volumes to you?
Again, a certain genre of music, they all speak volumes to me because I'm a writer. So now I can tell you this, and this is only me. This is only me. I feel restricted doing Southern Soul because I can't really write what I want to write with Southern Soul. To me, Southern Soul has a particular vein that it wants to go down. And if you stray from that vein, you stray on your own accord. You do it without any thought process of the fans or the consumer. I write blues, country, pop, soul, rhythm and blues, Southern soul. So if I was to go out there and write a Americana song, it's not gonna go over well in Southern soul. And I have done it. I got excuse me. I have an album under my real name, Steve Washington, and it's an Americana album. And I put Smile, I put Smile in Southern Soul, and I also put Send Me in Southern Soul, and didn't get no reaction, 0 reaction. At the same time, that same album, I won Living Blues magazine. I won best debut album for 2022. But when I put it in Southern Soul, it didn't really go over well. So when you say a particular genre, I like them all. So they all do something for me. Just Southern Soul, I'm locked to do a particular thing. As far as that's my experience with it. You know, somebody else may be able to get away with it, but I couldn't. So I'm not just lean. I haven't leaned toward one or the other. I like them all.
Well, I was about to say that to me, you know, when we labelize the term Southern Soul, I look at Southern Soul as a whole conglomerate of things. You know, it does have R&B, it has hip hop, it has blues, it has jazz, it has funk. It's just a matter, to me, it's just a matter of, you know, like you saying, you feel like you have to stay in one vein set, but the idea to me with Southern Soul, from where we came from, talking about the blues, and my baby brother can correct me, where the blues started out, it changed as time went on. So it branched. So it was giving life to other forms of music, and still in its root is Southern Soul is blues. Right. So, you know, that's, you know, when you say that, you know, you feel like you kind of stuck there. That's why I was like, I wanted to ask you that. Why would you feel like you stuck or stagnated maybe into one segue when there's many avenues within the Southern Soul that I think, you know, you could probably you could tap into anything, because you just talked about, you know, you love all types of genres in the music. Yeah. And I think, you know, you can bring all that to it, and you never know. Like I said, it takes one. It takes only one.
So, you know, here's the mechanics from my point of view. I don't like to place, this from the mechanics from my point of view. So you're right. Southern Soul has branched, and it's the like a tree. It's got all the segments, right? But if you look at the demographics of Southern Soul, soul R&B, Southern Soul, whichever one you want to call it, the demographics are, but not to overstate it, I'm gonna say 90% African American, Black people, and 10% any other race. Let's do it like that. Okay. When it comes to us, we are naturally born with syncopation. We are naturally born with rhythm. We are naturally born with the ability to feel the beats, it's natural in us. We naturally have rhythm. It ain't no way around it. We naturally got rhythm. So Southern Soul, with the branches it have, it's all rhythmic. It's all syncopated music. When you get to talking about some other genres, Americana or not rock, blues rock, however they call it, and then you have this genre of music, and just between the musicians, just between the people in the circle of blues, we call it white people blues. Now, with the branches of Southern Soul, 100% of it is syncopated music. Mm-hmm. So if I was to go and write Americana song, it's unsyncopated, it's unrhythmic, it's more of singer-songwriter type music with changes of 1, 4, and 5, like the traditional blues, but it's unrhythmic music. That alone eliminates our natural feeling to be drawn to it, because we naturally got rhythm, and if something is syncopated, we're gonna we gonna go with the syncopation. And when something is not syncopated and the rhythm ain't there, we just naturally don't feel it. But if you take it over there across the street to where I've been for the past 15 years, they both work. They like the syncopation and they like the stuff that's unsyncopated. So that's why I made the statement about I feel locked and unable to do this over here because this ain't syncopated like what we like. Did that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. So we want a certain thing to happen with music. And if that certain thing not happening with music, we hear it. We're not going to tell you it sucks, or I don't like that, or go on with that. We're not going to tell you that. We're going to tell you it sounds pretty good. But when this come on over here and it's syncopated and it grab hold to our rhythm that's naturally in us, we going over there.
Right.
Because that's what we naturally do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you cooking neck bones, collard greens, cornbread, and black-eyed peas, and they over there baking codfish in the oven. Mm-hmm. Where you gonna go eat at?
Right. And I understand what you meant by saying that you felt constricted, because even though it has the various different branches, people will put you in a certain category inside Southern Soul and lock you there, whereas you feel like you can't branch out. Because if you look at, like you were stating, Southern Soul, R&B, Southern Soul, you have those type of singers. Then you have the hook and the juke type of singers. Then you have the trail ride type singers.
Yeah.
So majority of individuals are stuck on a branch inside the music, and striving to become versatile sometimes can definitely choke you out in the situation. So
now you can dibble and dabble like a trail ride. Mm-hmm. A trail ride artist can do a R&B song, or an R&B artist can do a trail ride song. But what happens with that is, me, for instance, I'm me. Mm-hmm. I can do a trail ride song music wise,
right.
But when it comes to writing the lyrics for a trail ride song, I strongly believe that whatever subject you choose to write about, you got to know something about it. Your dialogue got to speak to the people that really know about it. So if I was to do a trail ride song, I'm going to have to go get somebody that's a trail rider so I know the lingo. You know, racking, he racking, coming around the corner, boy, he's stepping. You know what I'm saying? It's the lingo I don't know. So I'm going to have to go get with somebody lyrically to know the lingo, as well as trying to do hip hop or rap. If I was to write a rap song in 2023, I'm going to have to go get with one of them youngsters to help me write the lyrics. Because if not, I'm going to be hip hop, a hippie to the hip hop, you don't stop the rock, you know, because that's where I come from. So you can swing on these branches, but you gotta know the lingo in order for it to go over well. Because if I write a trail ride song and I start talking about what trail riders doing, I ain't never been to no trail ride. I don't know nothing about the four-wheelers. I don't know about running through the mud. I don't know nothing about Tennessee walkers and how they walk and what the cowboys wear and what type of belt buckle, what type of boots. I don't know.
Right.
They'll be looking at me like, the fuck is he talking about?
That is true. Now, you have a song called "On My Level."
Yeah.
What was the conception with that?
At the party, at the club, chilling around, family reunion, whatever you're doing, and you got your party favorite, whatever that may be, Kool-Aid, alcohol, marijuana, ice cold glass of water. When you get to that level at that function where you there personally and you feeling yourself and you happy and you feeling good, I'm on my level.
Let's go.
I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I'm on my level. Went to this party, it was oh so lit. The bartender kept it full to the rim. All of the ladies, they were looking so fine. Right now I think it's time for another round. I asked the bartender to fill up my cup. Little did I know that he would double it up. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I done had way too many drinks to go home by myself. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Oh, here I go. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Now it was way past 2 and now I'm almost there. I saw a lady with a sexy stare. I asked her, what are you drinking? Get whatever you like. 2 shots of cognac just might make your night. So I asked the bartender to fill up my cup. Little did I know that he would double it up. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I done had way too many drinks to go home by myself. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Oh, here I go. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. If it's gin and juice, say I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Jello shots, say I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Cognac on rocks, say I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Double up, styrofoam cups, say I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I done had way too many drinks to go home by myself. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Oh, here I go. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I done had way too many drinks to go home by myself. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Oh, here I go. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. I done had way too many drinks to go home by myself. I'm on my level, I'm on my level. Oh, here I go. I'm on my level, I'm on my level.
Well, I've been on my level many nights. I've been on mine many nights.
I know that's right.
Shoot, I tell you, I've had my own version of Thug Passion with that Hennessy and that Moscato Red.
Yeah.
Oh, it goes down.
I don't drink.
Oh shoot, you don't know what you're missing.
No, I don't drink.
But I've been on my level.
I
But
know a
that's
lot of people do though.
yeah,
Yeah.
we had have a good time. Not
Yeah.
the, you know what I'm saying, a fun time, not an ignorant time. That's one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, what was the very first song of yours that was played on the radio, and how did you feel the first time you heard it?
I ain't never heard none on the radio.
No?
Mm-mm. like I say, when I was working with Lucky Peterson,
Mhm.
I wasn't never. I was gone all the time.
Mhm.
So whatever was on the radio, it really wasn't nothing that I ever like sat around to see. I was always moving. I wasn't never. I've never heard. I'm thinking. I have. I have. I have. I have never heard. I take that back. I heard Stacked in the Back on the radio, but I didn't. I mean, it didn't. I don't know. It didn't really. Yeah, okay, it's on the radio. I didn't like go have a party or get to calling people. Or, I mean, at that point, I had been in the music so long
Mhm.
that it didn't really like do nothing like that. But that's the only song that I heard playing on the radio was Stacked in the Back. And hell, I didn't even hear that a bunch of times because I was never really like around listening to a radio. I was always moving on an airplane, on a bus, in a hotel, sleep, on a stage somewhere, moving. I just was always moving around. Now that Stanky Leg, I heard it on the radio a lot, but
Mhm.
it didn't do nothing to me because I'm in business mode. I'm on the road. We either in a 15 passenger van going to another city or going to the airport, and I got to go find him. I got to keep up with him. He getting on my nerve. Uh, we gotta do a TV show, and they back there telling me keep them in line because they were so wild. They had to draw squares on the stage for them to have to stay in the middle of the stage in the square for the TV camera. So I heard it on the radio, but I never had time to like celebrate it.
Mhm.
Oh, there it is again. Hell, I heard the song every night at the show. I was tired of Stanky Leg.
Well, a lot of people are just now realizing that you were the road manager and the manager for the group who made Stanky Leg. Um, and some of the experiences that you've had being with the organization. Um, how was it that combination came together? Were you put as the manager? Did you know individuals before the group was formed?
Never knew him. I come from Lava House. I don't know if you ever heard of Lava House. I come from a record company called Lava House. We did Do the Ratchet, Lil Boosie. We did that song. We did Hey Bay Bay, Hand Clap. We did all that. I'm
Mhm.
driving down the street one day, and I had my own studio where we had Lava House up the street. I'm coming down the street, and one of the founders of Lava House, he hollered, Steve. He hollered my name, and I stopped, turned around. He was standing there with this guy, and he asked me. He introduced me to the guy. I didn't know the guy, and he started talking about this group called the GS Boys with a song called Stanky Leg. I had never heard the song. Uh, so he said they want to come to your studio and record. That's fine. They end up coming to the studio, and just through me recording them and uh, uh, they they asking me different questions about music business, and I'm answering the questions, kind of made them feel comfortable with me around. At the time, this other guy, he had them, and I came in the picture right at the time where they were getting ready to sign with a swag team who is Young Jock.
Mhm.
So I went out. My first trip with them was to El Paso, but at that time I just drove them to El Paso because I'm finding out who they are now. I've been working with them in the studio now, maybe about a month, and I'm like, I know them now. I know what's going on now. So I go to El Paso with them. I drove them down there, and just I'm a hustler. I'm in the music business, and I hustle. That's what I do. Music is a hustle. I don't care how you mix it up, how you fix it. It's a hustle. That's what it is. It's a hustle. I'm hustling. So in my mind, these niggas got a song on YouTube sitting on what, 2 million views, and it's about to pop off. So in my mind, I'm getting manipulative. So I drive into El Paso. We leave El Paso, go to Houston to meet with Young Jock. Remember, this is my first trip, so I ain't really bumping my gums much, but I seen a lot go down in that hotel room that wasn't supposed to go down. But I ain't bumping my gums. I'm new, cause I ain't really in yet. But I saw 16-year-olds signing contracts without parents around, and I just okay. So I come back to Dallas with one of them. The other ones had a show in Arkansas. What did it? When the other ones got to Arkansas, they showed up at the show about 3 o'clock in the morning. The show was over. I get a call. Well, a friend of mine get a call about 3:30 in the morning from the guys that put the show on in Arkansas. They got the boys holding them hostage because they done showed up at 3 o'clock and all the people gone and ain't no group show up. So now they being held hostage. So my partner called me with the guy on the phone, and I managed to talk the guy to letting them go. And, come on, we can fix this. So I make it up to you. And from that point, they ended up signing with Swag Team, which was a big bumblefuck. And it just went from there, and I ended up being on the road with them for the next 2 years, taking care of whatever business came down. I was the contact from the record label, from Battery Records. I was the contact. I was pushing the buttons and moving the wheels. Swag Team was the middle. Swag Team signed them to Swag Team. Battery took them. Jock signed with Battery and got the deal with Battery. So I was just there and kind of just ended up being the guy that took care of all the business. So it was kind of like a muscle thing, let's move out the way type shit. So
Right.
that's how it went down.
But I didn't realize 53 minutes that went by that fast. I want to make sure that individuals know where they can get your music. What streaming platforms? How can they contact you for booking and things like that? How can they get your merchandise and music, and how can they come out and see you?
The music is on all streaming platforms: Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, all of them. The same ones. iTunes. It's on all of them. Booking. You can call me at 214-609-8899, or you can shoot me an email at parooze.music@gmail.com.
Now, get that number one more time.
214-609-8899.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Parooze, man, you got so much history, and honestly, I didn't realize it was that much history when it comes down to the music. How you was definitely on the road or in the mix with certain individuals, and we'll have to definitely bring you back so we can speak about this further, because I feel like there's a lot of things left on the table when it comes down to understanding the music business itself.
Right.
So having a very different perspective and a transparent perspective, a lot of these artists need to really pay attention when it comes down to the business itself, what goes on the road, whether or not, you know what I'm saying, what the manager has to deal with on the road when having artists, having young artists, regardless of the genre of music, what you have to deal with. So
Yeah.
we definitely have to get back together and schedule another time so we can finish this conversation. But I want to thank you for coming on.
Let
And
me
if you
say one
can,
more thing.
go ahead, bro.
What these artists got to realize is some may know, but a lot don't know.
Hmm.
Money in the music business come from a lot of different sources. Most of these artists look for streaming and and depending on who you are, some BMI or some ASCAP. But
Uh-huh.
you got master right use
Uh-huh.
royalties. You got neighboring rights royalties. You have mechanical royalties, and they need to know where to go get this at. And it's a few services out there that's a, a, a log in, sign up, uh, search and claim type of situation, and you get paid. So music just don't come from uh, royalties from music just don't come from DistroKid, CD Baby, TuneCore, and BMI alone. BMI pay performance royalties, and if you're not on reporting radio, you not getting no performance royalties unless you signing up with the right people to pay online streaming and that type of stuff.
Hmm.
So besides that BMI and that ASCAP check, you get checked. You got PPL, you got MCPS, you got. There's so many that pay for this on because music with this online stuff and went to a whole nother level.
Right.
So these artists need to know where to go get these monies from uh, when they putting their songs up on these streaming services. You own the master, so you get master rights owners royalties as well if you know where to go sign up for it.
Hmm.
Overseas, you get neighboring rights, but the United States don't pay neighboring rights. But from overseas, you get neighboring rights. You get a royalty for neighboring rights, and they don't know that. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I got a lot up here when it comes to that music shit, man.
Man, I see. I see you got a lot of information, and we definitely have to get you back on because some of these sources that you were talking about, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. The mechanical rights, the masters rights. We knew about the live performance rights royalties, but it's a lot of different venue ways that artists are leaving money on the table.
Yes.
And they have to really be students of this game that we call entertainment to get it
Yep.
all.
You
You
got
know?
one-stop sync deals you can do
Mhm.
because most music supervisors are moving away from depending on how big you are. Now, them big artists, they still get their stuff put in movies, but a music supervisor can go and do a one-stop shop over here and pay $3,000 to $4,000 to get the synchronization and the master use rights when they could take that same picture and go over here to a major record company and have to spend $50,000 for the same thing they can spend $3,000 for, but they don't want to move around to do it. They want it in one stop. That's why it's called one-stop shop. You got to own the master, you got to be the publisher, and you got to have the writer. If you split the publisher and the writer, then that's between you and whoever you split it with. But the master rights use, the music supervisor gonna deal with you. You own the master. They're gonna pay you for the master right use. They're gonna pay the synchronization fee, and now you got a song in a movie. Now I made it sound easy. It ain't that easy because music supervisors ain't just falling out the sky calling people on the phone for sync deals, but it's a lot out there, man.
Man, I tell you, that was a lot. But definitely, we're gonna get together. I'm definitely call you after this here, and we'll talk about it after here. And but big bro, we out of time, man. Take us up out of here.
Thank y'all, man.
Thank you, man. Just hold on. Don't go nowhere.
Yeah, don't go nowhere, Parooze. We thank you for coming on the show, blessing us with that history and some jewels, man, that you just dropped. So we definitely want to have you back on the show. You ain't got a home away from home. You got a home right here on the Real2reel360 show. To all our peoples and followers, listen, you can catch his music. I'm going to download it up on our radio station, Real2reel360 Radio. You can hear his great music on our channel. All you got to do is plug in, go to Live 365, plug in Real2reel360 Radio, and you click on it, and there we are. You will hear great music like this. To all our fans, followers, and people that love us, we love y'all back, and we're going to end this segment. We're going to holler at y'all later, and we reach you in the same way we met you, with peace and love. You know what I'm saying? We out of here. Peace.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we starting to come to the end of the show. Right now, I want to take the time out and thank our guests for coming on. Also, too, we want to make sure that y'all listening and subscribing, and tell a friend and keep sharing, because we're going to keep bringing y'all the real content. You know what I mean? So, DJ K-Wise, my brother, take us up out of here, son. Peace.
I want to give a big shout out to the nation of gods and earth. To all the human families of the planet Earth, I say peace. But to our subscribers, those who continue to watch and listen to the show each and every time we come on, I give a big shout out of love, peace, and happiness to you. The peace of man, woman, and child of the you in our verse. It's time for us to disperse. We bring the best, not the worst. We thank you once again for tuning in to the Real360. Bring a friend to hit that like and subscribe, so we continue to grow, to bring more knowledge and wisdom to you upon our show. You make it possible for us to do